Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here, and today I'm going to do a bit more work on my deep sea cabinet, namely the very bottom Atlantis level that is lit by all of the UV lights. And I want to get my pyramid mounted onto its permanent base, or the biscuit as I call it, so I want to get started on that. And I figure I'd start with a very important area, being the bit right out front of the steps. Good. Well, we've already got a wonderfully orange glow from those trans orange neon pieces on the inside of our pyramid. And ever since I had that idea, I figured that the source of that bright orange light would be magma, i.e. molten rock at the centre of our planet, of course, and therefore it must be sort of leaking out into this area of the undersea. So I figured what I'd do out the front is continue basically a great big crack in the Earth's crust that would represent a mid-ocean ridge or sort of volcanic rift. Now, I haven't got a huge area to play with here. I've measured it and it's actually 12 studs, so it'll only be a little bit before it sort of disappears underneath the stairs. But I think we can get it in the same sort of glowing brick colours, and it should look really good. And maybe that is the energy source for the Atlantean civilization that's down here. And it must give them some sort of mysterious power as well, is what I'm thinking, because they've managed to build a massive pyramid on top of a split in the Earth's crust, and it's still standing. So they must have some sort of forgotten knowledge or something like that that enables them to do that. Some mysterious power. Otherwise, it'd be a really silly place to build a pyramid. So, yeah, I'm going to get on up to the building desk and get out some dark tan pieces to start building something, probably with some burp pieces and studs on the side. Now, for the majority of the biscuit of this bottom level, I think I'm going to have just regular plates, just like I did for the sand level with all of the bases on and so on, all at different levels and textures, but just so that I can attach loads of plant life and all the rest of it to it very easily. But I figure for this special section right in front of the pyramid, and its two sort of lower columns that I've pulled off here, we can do something a bit different and have some really interesting textures provided by burp pieces in that 12 stud long section. Now, I have been collecting burp pieces in dark tan for quite a while wherever I find them, because they are few and far between, and they come in these two main types. Now, it seems that this one might be a bit too big in that it is 10 studs long, and if I put it on its side, which is how I'm planning to use them as sort of ground level, then it's already wasting about 2 centimetres of height if we continue the rest of the biscuit at this level. And with it being 10 studs long and, well, quite angular and square edged, I don't think that's that great for this, so we'll probably use that as rocks on the backdrop or something like that. But these, I think, are perfect because vertically that's actually 2 studs that way, but that means it's 5 plates vertically, so that's going to work really well with a thinner biscuit. And also it's got this lovely sort of pointed, jagged tooth-like profile on it, and I think that looks like something's been ripped apart. So I thought if I could get 5 of these, then I could place them kind of like this, kind of like a zip, with all of its teeth interlocking, and then the sort of slim gap in between all of those teeth would be bright neon orange bricks and tiles and things like that. So essentially, I think on the side where we've got 12 studs, we can have 3 of these because they're 4 each, and on the other side we can have 2 of them interlocking and then just 2 studs made up with regular bricks on the top and on the bottom, and I think that'll look really good. So essentially we'll have, say, those 2 being the first 2 teeth of the zip right at the base of the stairs, and then have them coming more up right up to the edge of the cabinet. And then we can do another setup kind of right behind the pyramid where that crack in the earth continues on. And I've already been playing around with this different burp piece, which has got grey rock on it, but trans neon orange on the top, and just a few more trans orange pieces there. So that can kind of be part of the cliff behind the pyramid. So yeah, we'll have a really good crack going all the way from front to back. And then another feature of volcanic rifts and mid-ocean ridges under the ocean, just like we have in the real ocean, in the mid-Atlantic ridge, for example, which goes right through Iceland and down pretty much all the way to Antarctica. Another feature that we often see is a hydrothermal vent. Now, this is kind of a fissure in the earth again, where superheated water discharges at a rate and supports life with loads of warmth coming from it and nutrients of all the rocks that have been dissolved into tiny particles. So what I've managed to get is 2 of this piece, which is kind of the spiral base of the Sandman character from Marvel, and that comes in the Daily Bugle set or 76114, Spider-Man's Spider Crawler from 2019. And I managed to get 2 from Lego Bricks and Pieces, and my idea was just to put kind of rounded 1x2 plate on 2 of those, and then I could attach either sort of smoke, because some of them are great big smokers like this one. That's what they're called, big smokers, under the sea, sort of letting out kind of clouds of nutrients, or just have loads of sea life little things buzzing around, like maybe this bright yellow seahorse or something like that, and then they could be adorning kind of the edges of this whole scene as well. So that is my plan for today. And just to add the smoke effect as well, I'm going to be using these kind of flame pieces, but in this black and grey, that came as part of the Silent Mary set 71042 from 2017, where they're near the figurehead on the front there. And that's the wreck that I'm going to have on the level above this one. But I don't really need these sort of mystical smoke pieces for mine, because it's going to be long sunk. So I figured that I could kind of have these stuck on there, or even maybe these pieces directly in there like that, and have maybe a little thing growing on there. And then already, wow, that looks really good actually, doesn't it? You've got some very interesting extra features on the bottom. So there we go. So I think these will almost be a second pair of kind of columns leading you up the stairs before the pyramid, and then this bit on the very back wall. So that is the plan. Let's see if we can get it in motion. Okay, well this is the first step of my fissure, or my rift, and essentially these are the left and right pieces of our zip, so they look a bit weird when they're like this vertically, but if I put them flat onto my desk, which is how they'll be at the bottom of the cabinet, on the very bottom piece of glass, then they will fit together, he says, there we go, to make a very interesting kind of jagged crack with all of these details just slightly above. And it's a repeating pattern, but I don't think it's too bad because it's quite irregular, and yeah, I really like it. So that is my middle section of the zip, and you'll see that I've got sort of 2 studs there to fill with regular bricks, and 2 at the other end to make up that full 12 before we have these kind of sat on top. I suppose they'll be at about that level, and if I use my UV torch, you'll see that I'm putting normal trans orange in between all of the neon orange pieces, so it has a really sort of interesting lighting effect when we put it in the cabinet. So hopefully the lights that are shining down from the ceiling of that level are strong enough. And I think I do need a few more. You see there where I've got 2 normal orange tiles together, neither of them are glowing, and next to that as well, where it's much better there where we've got 1 glowing. So I need a few more trans neon orange 1x2 tiles, probably 1 for that section, got 1 there, 1 for there, 1 for there, and it'll look even better. But all the ones I've got in my little collection are, well, normal orange ones. So yeah, that looks pretty good if you ask me. Tell me what you think, but I think I'm going to continue on and build that into normal studs on top build now, using mainly these to change the direction, because I can put these in a row kind of like that, and all the way along, and then we'll be able to have normal plates kind of overlapping as another layer on here as well, because I want it to be even more sort of broken apart than it is already. So I'm going to have some interesting plates, I think, as the next level, creating another jagged line after the one provided by these panels. Cool, I'll get on with that. All right, so here is the right hand section, and on the profile that we'll see from the front, it's all dark tan, which is important because, well, that's the colour of this level of the biscuit. I have used other colours in the middle, and that's just because they'll be covered up and won't be seen at all. I had a load of the modified bricks I just showed you in tan, and I've even got some of those modified plates with the studs on the side to fit in where the geometry needs them, because I need a few more attachment points to put on this extra level of plates, and I'm going to have some really angular ones going forward like that, and like that, and like that, overlapping. So this side will look slightly more different than the other side of the zip because, yeah, it is repeating a little bit. And then I'm going to put another one there, which I've already put onto the bottom of here to remind me, and that will be where our first vent can go as well. So that's also breaking up the scene, giving you something right near the front that's nice and tall that you kind of have to peer around one way or the other. And then we can put on our little tower that is at the bottom of the steps, because the steps will be overlapping this just very, very slightly, so it'll look like this vanishes underneath them. And I might even continue it underneath them just a little bit, so when we lift up those stairs using the play feature, the line of magma continues. But this will actually fit on here, and that's where the bottom of the stairs will stop, just that one stud of overlap. So yeah, I think that'll look really good. So there kind of is one side of our zipper, and we can fit that into there. Oh yes, it's already starting to look quite good, I think. So we need the other side building in the same way, with that one over there, probably be a bit further away, probably be about there, won't it? And that should look really good. And then we'll put this on as well, probably about there. Cool. Alrighty, well here's the second side of the zipper, with much more detail on it as well, and again with that profile being in dark tan. It is quite fragile at the moment, not everything's joined to everything perfectly, but when it's built into the remaining biscuit it will be a lot stronger, and also only be resting on the flat glass, so it won't be in motion. But that can basically go like that. I think that looks random enough. Then I've got this section for the back, which is again not attached just because we've moved from that studs on the side to vertical, but that will be attached to the rest of the biscuit with the other kind of end of the steps on, which means we should have 8 studs in between these two sections of walls. Well, we've got the steps going up, 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 up. Very nice. So now I can put on the second one of our smokestacks onto here. There we go. With this chap, a deep sea seahorse. I'm not sure you get those, but anyway. And then I thought I'd do the first section just of what would be underneath the stairs using one of these 2x2 slopes. I haven't got too many to spare because I think I need them all for the pyramid, the kind of chinks of light in the side that we're going to be putting in when I put this on the final biscuit, which is what I'm trying to race towards. But that essentially will go there, and that bit will be underneath the stairs. So the stairs will kind of hit down about like that, and you'll just be able to see a glimmer of it, I think, because it'll be slightly higher up. Now, we'll show you this whole setup in position in front of the pyramid at the end of this video, but it's all going to be at slightly the wrong level because the pyramid's going to be lower down behind this rather than kind of up here where it will be when it's finished. But I think that is quite a cool scene, especially if it's glowing even more than it is now. When I get more of those tile pieces for the more flat bits, tile pieces in the middle. So yeah, that looks really nice, but I think I can definitely make it even better with a bit of wildlife. I know a lot of you always sort of say about my builds, oh, you need to have more people and more sea life, and usually I say, yeah, but I like to do that at the end, but I figure for this one I should add some more stuff. And what I've been dying to use is this new shrimp piece from the Shrimp Soldier and Monkey Kid set 80049, Dragon of the East Palace from 2023. And I just got gifted one in the Brick Hall on Wednesday, and I've got another one coming. So yeah, I'm figuring I'll use this here as my first Atlantis person, or Atlantean. And what I've got by chance actually is this Squid Warrior body and head, which I think somebody gave me without the legs or sort of head mask. And he came in 2 sets, including 8061, Gateway of the Squid from 2010. And I figured, well, his torso's perfect. I'll use his head elsewhere, because that kind of looks like any sort of nasty creature under the sea, quite frankly. And see if that works. Oh, for this guy. Golly, it's hard to get in. Where did I drop that? There we go. Right behind the camera. There we are. So that fits quite well. Yeah, that looks good, especially if I give him a trident to hold like everyone else in the Atlantis would have. Very good. And I just need to decide what legs to give him. And Well, I've got two options really, because I don't really have many dark red legs. It seems they're quite rare. I could have some red ones with a red belt and trousers on, but that does look a bit too trousery, doesn't it? So I'm afraid we might be better with just plain legs, and you'll have to avert your eyes and not see any of his shrimpy natural self from his bottom half. But yeah, that works quite well, doesn't it? Because he's got the tail there, so I don't think we want to have non-legs, and they kind of are a fusion of undersea creature and people with legs. So yeah, I think that would be great, sort of guarding the scene or guarding the bottom of the steps. I'm also going to add an anglerfish, because they're very deep sea creatures as well, and he comes from one of the shark army, of course, from Ninjago movie. And then I thought another thing that I just got in that brick wall was some of these stingrays without any eyes, which is a bit interesting. Tell me about those if you know why they've got that. But some people have suggested that they could be very deep sea rays, and that's why they don't have eyes, because they're blind and just go around feeling their way. So I thought he'd be a good thing to add down here as well. And I'll add a few more of these aqua bobbles, which I'm using on the top of there, and we'll have a scene. Well, all right, I think that's mission accomplished. It'll look even better when this is in place in the rock wall behind the pyramid as well. But yeah, that's looking pretty good. Loads of sea life, all appropriately depth related, I think. I love these smoke effects coming out of these hydrothermal vents, and the effect of all these pieces being used and kind of glowing under the UV light is going to make it even more impressive, I think. So yeah, let's get this into the deep sea cabinet, 20,000 bricks under the sea, and see how it looks. All right, well, here we go. Da da da. Hey, I think that looks really good. Now, it's not fully pushed up. It needs to be, as I said before, slightly lower and slightly pushed back, but you get the idea, and it is well lit from above. You're getting the contrast between those two different types of trans orange tile. So it's a lot more subtle than the brightness going on the inside of the pyramid, but it is still very visible. And I think our vents and all of our texturing and that zipper type look works really well. Not so much when we get the reflection of the LEDs, but definitely like that. Oh yes, that's looking good. So I think from further away, when we pan back, you can really tell now that it is a crack in the sea crust, the Earth's crust, and it's going to be a really good feature that we can expand upon in future videos, adding more and more Atlantean detail to the environment. So yeah, I think that's a really, really good start. I'm very happy with that. But as always, do tell me what you think. So as always, thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe for more awesome LEGO videos. And if you value this channel, there are many ways in which you can support it. Do check out the links in the description below. And next time on Robin Hood Bricks, I think we'll be back in the city doing another build and scene and so on. But until then, see you! Yeah, that shrimp guy's cool. He's going to fit right in.